Hi, this is Zach May with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Sunday the 24th of March. Starting on with the S&P, which has backed off from that narrowing channel there from back in October. The nominal level there around 52.60, and below that the possibility of testing the floor of the channel there around 51.70. But obviously we've come up a long way in a short time, and any slight retracement, nothing too serious at this stage. Above 52.60, best case scenario target 54.50 over the following couple of months, and if we do actually break down the favoured support area now, would be now towards the 5100 area, which is basically mid-March support for this market. Moving along to the Nasdaq 100, and here the market actually slightly better on Friday than the equivalent action at the S&P. We're still looking for up to 18,700 at that September resistance line projection, ideally by the end of next month, and after that possibly up to the top of that rising October trend channel, 19,500 again on a 4 to 6 week time frame, probably more on the 6 week side for that. If we do break down, then initial support at 18,000, worst case at the moment 17,700 at the 50-day moving average. Moving along to the stocks, and starting off with familiar face, Clover leaves. Here you can see that we've got this rising trend channel base in place since September. Top of the channel there heading towards $6.60. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain on the right side of $4, given that that was the pre-Friday breakout resistance for this market. Another stock which we've looked at recently is Cardiff, and here, beautiful V-shaped bull flag. We're very near to our initial target, second target there, which was around the $6.35 level. Above that, looking for a December resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as $8.30 to be hit by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $5 there. Moving on to a stock which had a big move at the end of the week, Intellicheck, and here, after gapping up, we are basically at 1 year highs for this particular stock. We could get a bit higher than that, given that there is the possibility of a broadening triangle base there, heading for $3.60, so that would be our target over the near term, over the next week or two, if there's follow through on the recent breakout through the $2.90 zone, which was spring 2023 resistance. Another situation which may have legs is coming up, and here you will see Leafly Holdings, and here breaking that 50-day line, which tends to be a good starting signal for a turnaround. I'm not quite sure yet of how high we'll go, but we do have a resistance line there from back in December that is running through $4.60. That's the initial target, while we're above the 50-day line around $3.55. Next up on the roster is are a couple of stocks which we looked at recently. First one is Lava, and here you can see that we've got this beautiful curved ascent for the shares over the recent past. We should be within a rising trend channel base. For the top of the channel, they're heading for $5.30. Looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above $3. Basically, 2-day support for this particular stock. MoneyLion returns as well, which is good to see, and here another V-shaped turnaround above an unfilled gap to the upside, and looking for progress within a rising trend channel, currently pointing to as high as $92 to be hit by the end of next month. Obviously, we've got resistance at 75 in the meantime, but through that, 90 or the low 90s could be on their way. The next situation is not so familiar, but maybe it will become one of those. Nova Lifestyle, massive spike to the upside. See that the shares have actually retreated quite sharply on the day in many cases after spiking up, so there seems to be a seller around, but resistance on the way down around $2.90. Above that, we could still have a retest of the $5 area by the end of next month. Moving on to Outlook, and here the charting picture looking decent in the sense that the shares trying to break out of that broadening triangle that we've had in place since back in November. The top of the triangle there heading for $12, which narrowly missed that at the end of last week, 11.72. The high would ideally like to see the shares remain above the floor of the gap there around $7.80. And while they're above that, then there is a chance of a retest of the $12 zone. Moving along to another situation which is decent in a sort of pure way, broadening triangle base there for Phathom, and Phathom looking to hit the top of that triangle there around $12.70, ideally over the next couple of weeks or even sooner. 2-day support there just above the $9 mark, but ideally we stay on the right side of Thursday's resistance around the $10 mark, ahead of $12 plus. We're looking at a situation which we looked at during the week, and a very strange chart and price action from Rosewoods here. Potential of a broadening triangle, and a lot of jiggery pokery and volatility between $10 and $12, but we closed on the right side of that range and looking for $14, perhaps as soon as the end of this month, now that the 50-day line is rising, and the pinball effect between $10 and $12 hopefully has been resolved to the upside. A nice charting position next from Summit, and here massive unfilled gap to the upside, a rising trend channel there from back in July, and the top of that channel $31, looking for that hopefully over the next week or two or less, while we stay above recent $24 support and the top of that particular gap higher. Very nice stock coming up next in the form of Sezzle here, sort of a persistent break to the upside, and then gapping through the old peak there around the $70 mark, and above $70 looking for the upper parallel of the previous target there, $50 at as high as $94 by the end of next month. We hope that we'll stay on the right side of that $70 area, of course, in the meantime. Tilray is next, and here you can see how the shares have managed to come around after basically bouncing off the old November support there around $1.60. Since then, nice breakout through recent neckline resistance around the $2 level. We're looking for up to $2.90 by the end of next month at the current rate of progression. Maybe that could be even sooner. Last two are coming up next, and here a situation where Tscan making good progress within that rising trend channel from August, top of the channel there, heading for up to $9.50, and ideally we stay above recent resistance around $7.30, ahead of a $9.50 target, ideally well before the end of next month. The last stock of the day is Veritone, and this has actually looked like a winner from the first time we looked at it. We've hit our first target there around $4. The second one was around $5.20. I think we just missed that by 2 cents, but nobody's perfect. And through the $5.20 area, looking for as high as $6.60 by the end of next month. Looks as though the shares should be able to find support in the low $4 area on any consolidation. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.